What's happening, everybody? I'm Paul Sharp, and I thought today I would talk to you about one of my favorite blades out there, the Regiment Blade by my buddy Al. This thing is awesome. Now, I have several of these. I have G10 models. I have them set up for a neck knife. I have them set to be carried in the waistband, in the pocket, all kinds of different ways because I do all kinds of things, and I always want to have some sort of knife on me. Now, that's for self-protection, for utility purposes, all kinds of things. This blade does it all. It's set up, the way it's designed is for punching, right? So if I grip it like this, it's basically a straight shot in off of a cross or a jab, any straight shot, hook, whatever. It fits in your hand, it can be used, it blends seamlessly with your boxing mechanics. So if you have any kind of a boxing background, this blade will fit right into that structure already. But the other thing I like about it is the way it's designed. It rides right in the waistband, behind your belt, inside the pants, or in the pocket, or in a neck knife configuration, and nobody ever knows I have it on me. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about though was someone asked me about law enforcement, security, armed security, anything like that. How did I carry it on those gigs? So like an executive protection thing, I guess you could call it close protection, because it wasn't really the executive, sometimes it's the family. And law enforcement, whether I'm in patrol or any assignment, I would carry these knives on me. And one of the things that I wanted to show you guys was how I set it up on my duty rig. So this is roughly my duty rig the last few years of my career. We went to outer vest carriers in, oh man, I don't even know, probably 10, 12 years ago. I retired in 2018, so I am not in any way speaking to what is happening now. I am not current. I only know what I was doing at the time when I retired, right? So the last 10 years or so, I carried one of these. And the way I would do it is, if you can see here, this is my mag pouch. So everything else was on the vest, the outer vest cover. Everything was carried in, I carried my OC, my cuffs, everything that I could get off of my waist, I did. So if I could get it off of my hips, I got it off my hips. I just carried it on the vest. I still carried my pistol and my mag pouches for the pistol on my belt. Now that's kind of a vestige of training with Paul Howe. In a couple of his classes, he talked about having everything as much as possible on your vest, but always keeping your gun belt so that no matter what, if something were to occur or for some reason you didn't have your vest with you, didn't have it on you, you had your equipment that you could deal with a lethal threat was on your body. Like that was still there. And so with that in mind, I never put my knife on the vest, and I'm not throwing any shade at guys that do. I understand why they do that, and I understand the training and the philosophy behind that. But for me, I kind of was heavily influenced by Mr. Howe's perspective on that and what he brought to the table as far as reasoning for that. And so I always wanted to keep my life-saving equipment. I wanted to keep those on my body, on my person, not just on my vest. If something happens, the vest comes off, whatever, I still have the pistol, reloads, and the knife. So, how I carried it, and the way this thing's set up, I don't know if you see that, kind of the configuration there. So it's set up to be carried on the left side, to be accessed by my left hand, because my assumption was that, based on training, that if I have to go to this, it's because I either can't get my right hand free to get to the pistol, or I am keeping the pistol in the holster, trying to fight off someone who's trying to disarm me, or maybe the pistol's out, but we're fighting over the pistol, and in the process of that, I would come down with my left hand and access the blade. So here's what I did. I'll show you real quick with the duty rig, for the guys that carry the duty rig, you understand the Velcro and keepers and all that stuff. You have the Velcro inner belt, similar to like a USPSA setup actually. So you have your Velcro inner belt, and I would hook it right there like that. So that would be how I would carry it on the inner belt. And actually, since I would have the inner belt on my uniform pants, the knife, the sheath itself was inside the waistband of my uniform pants. So it was kind of set up like that. It has this nifty little hook here on the bottom. So once you click it into place here, it's very sturdy. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really hard to like get that. It's hooked. It's there. And what you do is you take, and I would put that right here at the back side of my magazine pouch. So right behind the magazine pouch is where that would ride. So from the front, you would basically see that, if you would see anything. I use the black cord wrap. This is kind of a sticky, gummy cord wrap. I would use the black cord wrap on the handle, and then that would kind of come down, so my vest cover would come down to right about here, right at the top of my mag pouch, so you wouldn't even really see it. So it would ride in there kind of like that. The vest cover would come down to right about here, so this part of the handle would be hidden under my vest. And a lot of people would never even know that I had this on me. Like, they would have no clue. Nobody ever noticed it. No bad guys ever mentioned it, or because, you know, they like to have that gotcha moment where they're like, "Oh, I see what you got," you know. And so that was always one of those things. I just always had this on me, and it rode right there behind the vest. Easy to come out, easy to deal with the threat. If I'm locking somebody down, I'm keeping my pistol in the holster, or I'm fighting over the pistol, get it back to a retention position, get the knife into play, and get them off of me. So that's how, or what I carried on duty. That's how I carried it. For years I carried a TDI, the large K-bar version. I carried one of those for years and years in a holster that was made, or a sheath rather, that was made for me by Pete of Finn Designs, at the direction of Dr. Middlebrooks, who also gifted me that blade. That thing was wonderful, and I really liked it. Similar profile, similar shape, but over time I just gravitated more towards this, and the way that this is set up and the way it's designed. I prefer this over everything else for duty and for any kind of work where I'm carrying a bat belt, so to speak. I highly recommend these. Man, check it out. Let me know what you think. I will try to get some videos up of me doing some work with this. Also, there are a ton of videos on my friend Mickey Shook's site, the Carry Trainer YouTube channel, where you can see him punching garbage cans and heavy bags and you name it, just putting holes and slashing all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Check it out. Have a good one.